What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Into the Squared Circle podcast. Yes, I'm your host, GBs, and welcome. Hey, for a new viewer on YouTube or a new listener on the podcast, Into the Squared Circle podcast, hit the like, hit the subscribe button, super kick this son of a biatch, and let me know what you think about the content. VI podcast, by the way, is available on all major podcasting outlets. So wherever you listen to your podcast, you got a smart device like this one right here. This one's not even on. Hey, Google or Alexa, play Into the Squared Circle podcast. Yeah, beep, beep. Whatever, I'm losing my mind here. I'm available on all major podcast outlets. You got it? All right. 5 social media platforms: Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, and Instagram. 5. Cinco. Not the ocho, the cinco. Social media platforms. Into the Squared Circle podcast or Into the Circle pod. Can't speak. You know why I can't speak? AEW Revolution 2023 is going down to this Sunday, March 5th, 2023, of course. A big pay-per-view, a stacked show. So as the time I'm recording this podcast, it is Friday, March 3rd. Rampage hasn't happened yet, so we might get more matches to the card, possibly pre-shows. But in the meantime, there's currently 8 matches set for the pay-per-view this coming Sunday. I'm going to give you guys my predictions. What match is going to go down? Give you my predictions, explanations why I picked these individuals, men or women, or team, to win these matches. Now, if you've been following my predictions for WWE Royal Rumble and WWE Elimination Chambers, if you notice, I've been on a streak. 4 out of 5. 5 matches total, 4 right. Of course, that one I got wrong is because I had my selection either was this close from winning or just kind of threw off a little bit. So let's see if this AEW pay-per-view will match up. We'll continue on my 4 to 5, or maybe I'll get a 5 out of 5 predictions. And maybe your predictions could be close to mine. Again, I'm not a Las Vegas odds better. You know how they do the Super Bowl. There's teams have a better odds and winning. None of that stuff here. So please don't bet on money on this unless there's, I know there's a betting app that's doing a little sponsorship with AEW, of course. But let's see if yours is going to match up to mine, okay? Let's talk about it. Let's have a little conversation here between you and I, if you're listening on the podcast or watching on YouTube. 8 matches total. By the way, the pay-per-view will be on live on pay-per-view, of course. Wherever you can find your pay-per-views, either your local cable outlets or I think it's on BR Live. It's always on BR Live, so I think $50 you can get the pay-per-view if you can afford it. Not a lot of people can afford a $50 pay-per-view compared to WWE's $9.99 a month premium live event, but nonetheless is a traditional pay-per-view. Or you can check it out live. I believe it's at the Chase Center in San Francisco, Southern California. So if you want to check it out live, it's any tickets available as well. So 8 matches total. Looking at the card, let's start with this match right here. Christian Cage versus Jungle Boy Jack Perry in a no-holds-barred match. So I said the WWE Elimination Chamber is going to be tough to predict. I'm going to say this pay-per-view is going to be tough to predict. It's going to be a close one. Christian Cage versus Jungle Boy Jack Perry. Will Jack Perry get even the score out with Christian Cage and get his revenge on him and get a victory out of this match? Or will Christian Cage, will he sliver his way out, weasel his way out as a heel and defeat Jungle Jack Perry in a no-holds-barred match? It's a great question. I'm going to ask you, the viewers or listeners, let me know what you think into the Squared Circle podcast, or leave it right here in the comment section about this match. My personal pick, it's going to be a hell of a match. It's going to be a brutal match. It's going to be a violent match, especially if it's a no-hold-barred match. Will it be backstage? Will it be in the crowd? Will it be in the parking lot? We don't know. All we know, it's going to be no rules. It's going to be violence. I'm going to go for Jungle Jack Perry to defeat Christian Cage. Yes, why? It's time for him to redeem himself and the Perry family. Again, who Christian Cage has been knocking his family, including his late great father. Teasing about flirting with Jungle Jack Perry's mother. They kind of add that to the heelish promo he done in the past. So let's end this rivalry. Let's end it at this pay-per-view this Sunday, March 5th. So I want to see Jack Perry walked out victory with his hand raised in the air. Next match. It's going to be an interesting match here. For the Trios match, of course, for the AEW World Trios Champion, the Elite, Kenny Omega, Nick Mac Jackson, the Young Bucks, versus the House of Black, which is Malachi Black, Brody King, and Buddy Matthews. Will, a lot of fans think the Elite will retain. Maybe. There's a pretty good chance. Or could the House of Black get a little lucky? Could they get the luck of Irish just in time for St. Patrick's Day and win the Trios champions? Maybe. Could it be a little bit of interference? Maybe. Could there be another addition to the House of Black? Maybe. There's a lot of variables played in this match. Could the Elite retain the titles? Could lead up to something in the near future for another trio surprise. FTR and CM Punk. Maybe CM Punk could come back. We don't know. Could that lead up to another trios match of the future between Heyman, Adam Page, and somebody else? We don't know. We don't know where this feud's going to lead to or how this outcome's going to be. Again, like I mentioned, it's going to be a tough prediction. If I'm going to pick the Elite retain. I want the House of Black to win. I want to see the Elite drop the titles. Look, us fans, AEW fans, want to see the Elite not have the title. I mean, unless you're a hardcore Elite fan, you want them to keep the titles, you're a big Elite fanboys, I get it. I'm not going to take a crap out of this. I'm not going to be negative about it. But storyline played wise, I'm going to see the Elite is going to retain. I'm going to see them retain. It could lead to something big in the future. Don't know what, but there's something. So, again, it's going to be a tough pick. And I'll be surprised. I will be really surprised if the House of Black wins the title. I'll be damned if they win. But I have a good feeling that the Elite is going to walk out retaining. I could be wrong. It's going to be tough. Again, sound off in the comments section, or if you're listening on the podcast, into the Squared Circle podcast on my 5 social media platforms: Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, and Instagram. That's right, hide at. And let me know what you think and thoughts as well. Up next, Jamie Hayter, the current AEW World Women's Champion, versus Saraya versus Ruby Soho. Well, do I see Ruby as a future champion? Possibly. Now is the time for her to win the title. Probably not. Because Saraya win? Yeah, she's been a former World's Women's Champion on the other company. Possibly. Will be the time now to win it? Maybe. Or could Jamie Hayter retain the World's Women's Champion from AEW? I'm going to choose that route. Why? Well, she just had the belt for a couple of months. I don't think now is the time. Maybe drop the title in September at All Out. Maybe. That could make a logical sense. I'd be surprised if they drop it to Saraya. I'd be surprised if they drop it to Saraya. Watch. If I choose Jamie Hayter and Saraya win, it's going to haunt me again. This could be the match I might lose my prediction, but maybe not. I'm going to choose Jamie Hayter to retain the title. Okay? Again, let me know what you think. Your predictions, your ideas on this pay-per-view. Up next, a singles match. The JAS, the Jericho Appreciation Society, are banned from ringside. Chris Jericho, Mr. Ocho, Le Champion, the Wizard. So many gimmicks in one guy in so short period of time. Chris Jericho versus Ricky Starks. Well, could Ricky Starks defeat Chris Jericho? Look, I love the absolute... Can I do it? No, I can't do it. Ricky Starks defeat Chris Jericho. Or could Chris Jericho weasel his way out? There might be a little loophole. There could be a loophole in this match. Jericho Appreciation Society could be banned, but maybe somebody who could co-align with them could interfere. That's how they play it. That's how Jericho thinks. There could be a loophole, and Jericho could walk out as a winner. Could that be my pick? Yeah, that could be my pick. Look, Ricky Starks had one of the best storylines prior to the Chris Jericho feud. And Ricky Stark's been booked like crap lately. And he doesn't deserve that. He deserved to get that main event title picture with Starks and MJF, okay? Starks and MJF. And it was beautiful. It was a beautiful storyline. Two of the best young guys going at it. But ever since then, Ricky Starks is, in my personal opinion, Ricky Starks hasn't been that top elite storyline that MJF had with him. So, could Chris Jericho win? Possibly. I could see it happen. Again, it's going to bite me in the ass because I know I'm going to pick Chris Jericho. I have a feeling he's going to win. But maybe Ricky Starks could win. Maybe. But I'm going to pick Chris Jericho because I could just see something happen. Again, I could see Ricky Starks winning as well, but at the way they've been booking him lately, I could see Jericho winning. Again, it could haunt me. I could be wrong. But that's going to be my pick. All right, up next for the AEW TNT Champion in a singles match, Samoa Joe, the current champion, versus Wardlow. Could Wardlow make his comeback and defeat Samoa Joe and win back the title? Could he? Or could Samoa Joe retain and end this little feud between Wardlow and move on? It's going to be tough. It's going to be a tough one. Samoa Joe is a badass. I love Samoa Joe. I've been following his career since the early 2000s, so I'm a big fan of Samoa Joe. Very impressive. The guy's a star. The guy's a monster. Wardlow, Little Green. He could be a potential monster, but he needs to be that guy. He needs to become that guy in this match to beat him, of course. So, could Wardlow win the title back? Possibly. Could Samoa Joe retain and move on? Possibly. It's a 50-50 here, folks. If I had to pick one, again, it's going to be a tough one. Fairly quickly, I could see Samoa Joe retaining, carrying in that title to Ring of Honor, defend it over there. What's the future hold for Samoa Joe if he retains? I don't know. Don't know what his potential future opponents could be. Maybe this Wardlow feud could continue on further down the road. Maybe. We don't know. We know Powerhouse Hobbs won the future, was the ladder match this past Wednesday on Dynamite. By the way, Dynamite, going off subject here, ratings went down to the 800,000s compared to the following week, where the Tony Khan announcement brought it to 1 million, and now it's back down to 800,000. So there you have it for your little quick update for AEW Dynamite. What went down in the ratings this past Wednesday? But yes, Powerhouse Hobbs won the ladder match, got the brass ring, his future title shot. But let's talk about the Samoa Joe and Wardlow. And we'll see Samoa Joe retaining, and could it lead to a match between Hobbs and Samoa Joe? Or could it brings back where Wardlow could win the title, and it could be Hobbs versus Wardlow in the near future? That could be my plan B. Plan A, plan B. Samoa Joe could win, or Wardlow could win. It could be a future between Wardlow versus Hobbs. Again, I'm going to stick the Samoa Joe route. Could bite me in the ass, but I could be wrong. But I'm going to pick Samoa Joe to retain. Okay, let's move on. Texas Death Match. Jon Moxley versus Adam Hangman Page. Texas Death Match in California. Yeah. Who's going to win? It's going to be a brutal match. It's going to be a violent match. Of course, it's going to be blood. Who's going to be bleeding? Jon Moxley. I'm going to tell you that up front. Hangman Adam Page could be bleeding. Yes, could be. Most likely. What's going to be the match? Whether it going to be a barbed wire? Jon Moxley is going to be involved in this match. There's going to be a barbed wire. Whether it could be thumbtacks? Possibly thumbtacks. Again, Jon Moxley in this match. And if you're a fan of Moxley match, you kind of know what I'm talking about. Now, who's going to win? That's the next question. That's going to be the key moment. Could it lead to something big after the match? Maybe. Who's gonna pick? Mox. Team Mox versus Team Adam Page. Can't speak, because this is how big this match is gonna be. I need to calm down. Bring the levels down. Who's gonna win? Will Moxley walk away as the winner? Now remember, he defeated Hangman Adam Page in a singles match Dynamite a couple weeks ago as the opening match. I want Moxley to win, but I have a feeling Hangman Adam Page is going to win. Yeah, I'm going to go for that route, unless it's going to be a draw. There's a slim chance. I'm going to pick Hangman Adam Page. Yeah, I'm going to pick that. Again, it's going to be a tough pick, but I'm going to pick Hangman Adam Page. Can't pick a reasoning, because I can't give you a legit reasoning why I'm going to pick him, because it's tough to call. But let me know what you think. Into the Squared Circle podcast on my social media platforms. I will put a Twitter poll on my page, and we'll kind of variables out and see who do you going to think going to win. I'm going to let you guys pick. Who's going to win this match? It's going to be a tough one to call, but Hangman Adam Page is going to be my pick. Okay, 8 matches total. We got 2 more left. We're almost there, folks. 4-way tag team match for the AEW World Tag Team Champions, the Guns. The current champion versus the Acclaim. Versus Jay Lethal and Jeff Jarrett versus Orange Cassidy and Danhausen. You're going to be cursed. Okay, who's going to win? Well, I'm probably going to get my ass chewed out. And I'm sorry, I love Orange Cassidy and Danhausen. And I'll be damned if they win this match. I'll be damned. I swear, I'll eat a bar of soap if these guys win. I'll open to you guys right now. I'm on YouTube and on my social media platforms and my podcast. I will eat a bar of soap if Orange Cassidy and Danhausen win. I tell you, no. I'm sorry. I love them. But no. Okay? I know there's fans out there that way. The impossible, the underdogs, but I'm just going to walk away. No. Could Jay Lethal and Jeff Jarrett? Maybe. Yes. There could be a good potential winners right there. Potential. Or could the Acclaim get their titles back? Yes. There's the potential. Could the Guns weasel the way out? Yes. That could happen. Well, it's going to be a tough one, as I mentioned. I want the Acclaim to get the titles back. Now is the time to get the titles back? Probably not. Hold off. Hold off to maybe the Forbidden Door. Maybe in a couple months. Or Double or Nothing in May. That's coming up right around the corner. That could be a big time pay-per-view. I want to see the Acclaim go after the titles at Double or Nothing, the big time out in Vegas. Now the question is, will the titles switch? I want to see Jay Lethal and Jarrett win. They could be a potential contenders. But again, something in my guts, something tells me in the crystal ball, the Guns could retain and weasel the way out. Could Billy Gunn play a role in this match? Maybe. It could lead to something to the future. I could see something happening. I could see the Guns retaining. Lead to something down the road for Double or Nothing. It could bite me in the ass. I could be wrong. I'm going to put the Guns win this match, retain. Okay, the last match. The numero ocho. The main event. The 60-minute Iron Man match for the AEW World Champions. It's going to be a hell of a match. It's going to be a war. Jim Ross will say it's going to be a slobber knocker. Who's going to win? MJF, the current champion, versus Bryan Danielson. Will Bryan Danielson walk out as a champion with his hand risen in the air at the AEW new world champion, or could MJF retain? Man, this is a big time match. This is a big time, all-time stakes match. I tell you, this is going to be the match of the pay-per-view. This match is going to be brutal. Will it be a full 60 minutes? That's the question. Maybe. It's going to be a classic. MJF is going to roll out the dice. He's going to roll out anything he can pull out of his sleeves. All the tricks in the books. The dirty player in the game, the Ric Flair, woo! He's going to pull it out. Could Bryan Danielson show off his best technical skills? Yes. This match is going to be everything. It's going to be top tier. Question is, who's going to win? It's going to be one winner, or it could be a draw, like the Danielson Omega when they did it at the Archer Ashe Stadium in New York. When that match became a draw, could it be a draw? Slim to none. If I had to pick one, I want to see Danielson win as a champion. I want to. That's my plan B. My plan A is going to be MJF's going to retain. Why? Could lead to something in the near future. So again, I keep saying CM Punk. CM Punk's name is going all over headlines. Could that lead that feud back to MJF and Punk? Could be. Again, I could be wrong. CM Punk may never come back. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm loco. Insane in the membrane. Yes. Could MJF retain? That's my plan A. Could. Maybe Danielson could win, could lead something big in the future. G-Beast, you have to pick one. And I don't want to pick one because I love both men. I'm a fan of both wrestlers. I want them to see both as champions. But someone has to walk out as the champion. Win, lose, or draw. I'm going to pick MJF. I want to see Danielson. See, this is tough. This is why I'm saying this prediction is going to be tough. I want to see MJF win. I want to see him walk out, and it could lead something big in the future. But I want to see Danielson. I'm going to go 50-50. Can I pick both? Can I do that? I'm going to ask you, the viewer and listeners, can I pick both? Say yes. I can't see you. I can't listen to you. I can't hear you. But I want to see both to win. But I'm going to lead towards the MJF route. It's going to bite me in the rear end, as I mentioned. Okay, this is it, folks. This is it. 8 matches total. These are my predictions. Do my predictions matter? Probably not. Again, the last 2 pay-per-view matches for WWE has been 4 out of 5. Let's see if my predictions are close. Now, I want to hear yours or listen or view yours, whatever form it is. Comment section on YouTube or Into the Squared Circle podcast. As I mentioned, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, and Instagram. Into the Squared Circle podcast or Into the Squared Circle pod. Okay, that's it. We're done. Now, stay tuned to this page. I'll try to get to you guys quickly as possible after the pay-per-view. Let's match up and see if my predictions are correct. All right. Sorry for the bad audio quality. Yes, I know quality is important to me, but all my stuff are not here. My microphones. Yes, I'm doing some interviews for local pro wrestling independent wrestlers. I know, don't tell anybody. Stay tuned. It's going to be big. It's going to be fun. If you live in the Chicagoland area, this is where I live at. I'm not going to give you my exact location. Don't need to be people following, bombarding me at the stores and restaurants. But yes, I'm a nobody. But I will have local pro wrestlers interviewing in the near future. Stay tuned. Okay, I'm going to shut up. I will see you guys in a few days for the aftermath of All Elite Wrestling Revolution. Till next time, my friends, stay heavy. See you down the road.